Welcome to the Rotary Times, a public service program presented by Rotary District 7610, Virginia. Funding for this program is made possible by the generosity of Rotary District 7610. On our programs, we talk with Rotarians and community leaders and discuss Rotary International and how it helps local, national, and world communities. I am your host, Rotarian Dr. Deborah Jackson with the Rotary Club of McLean, Virginia. And along with me as co-host is Rotarian Jim Holcombe with the Rotary Club of Bailey's Crossroads, Virginia. Our guest for this program is the 2019 through 2020 Foundation Chair for the Rotary District 7610. Welcome, past District Governor Ronnie Chantker.
Thank you, and I'd like to thank both you, Deborah and Jim, for inviting me to be on Rotary Times today. I'm very honored to be here.
Absolutely. We're going to talk a little bit today about the foundation. We're so excited to have you here today because we want to learn more about how the foundation supports the district, which then has an opportunity to support its clubs and ultimately impacting the community. So let's go ahead and get started. My question to you initially is, how and why did you initially become involved in Rotary and then choose to become involved in the foundation?
Well, I started going to mix and mingle at a business club that I belonged to, and it was every Thursday night. And after a while, I realized that several of the people kept talking about this other club meeting they were going to Thursday morning. And of course, I said, "Where is it that you go?" And the answer was, "Come with me." So I did, and I went to my very first Rotary meeting. And I was just so impressed with the dedicated members of the Rotary Club of Tyson's Corner. I soon became a member. And then soon after that, I became the club foundation chair. So I had a lot of information that I had access to and was able to really understand what the Rotary Foundation did.
Wonderful, absolutely.
So let's talk about some specifics. What's the primary role of the District Foundation Chair?
The primary role of the District Foundation Chair is to assist the District Governor to enable and help the clubs achieve their goals and objectives with the Rotary Foundation.
Okay. So when we think about the primary role of the District Foundation Chair, what is the specific intent of the foundation itself?
Well, the intent of any foundation is to raise funds to enable the organization to be able to fund their objectives.
Gotcha.
So of course, our district foundation is the same thing. And in District 7610, we get back 50% of whatever contributions our district has made to the Rotary Foundation 3 years prior. So then we are able to use those funds to support our goals and objectives and help our clubs.
So you really are impacting a lot of clubs and a lot of programs that are filtering into our local communities. That's amazing.
Thank you.
So what is the vision? You must have an overall vision because you were past district governor. Tell us about an overall vision for the Rotary Foundation.
Well, in 1917, the Rotary International president, Arch Klump, decided to set up an endowment fund to be able to do good in the world. And that's what our vision is, to continue to do good in the world.
How many Arch Klump members do you all have?
I think at this point we have about 3 in our district.
Right.
And how, explain how one gets to be an Arch Klump.
Well, an Arch Klump member is a very generous Rotarian who has contributed $250,000 to the Rotary Foundation.
Say that again.
$250,000 to the Rotary Foundation. And I just can't tell you what wonderful things we are able to do with those funds. We're able to help people throughout our community and the world.
That is something to think about. When I heard that, I thought that's pretty impressive. So as you look ahead several years, and your board gains its footing under your leadership, what do you see as some of your priorities?
Well, we want to continue to encourage the clubs to do good things. In the Rotary Foundation, 6 areas of focus, and they are water and sanitation, peace and conflict resolution, economic development, maternal and child care, health and disease prevention, and education and literacy. And we want to continue to be able to work in all those areas of focus.
And you're doing those not just locally, but I understand you're partnering in areas around the world with some of those same areas.
We do. We do a lot of global grants, and in order to do a global grant, we have to have a partner, a Rotarian partner in that area that we're going to do our grant. So we have to partner, we partner throughout the world.
And you also partner with the clubs and certain individuals.
Yes.
Just a little more details on that.
Well, we have a lot of clubs that actually get together and partner to do different projects. Right now we have 15 clubs that partner, and they're called the Strategic Water Alliance. Their goal is to build 50 wells in Zambia, and as of now they've built about 40 wells.
Wow.
And so we, of course, have to partner with different Rotary clubs in Zambia because the wells are located throughout the country.
That's wonderful. So there you build that sustainability in, so that when the work is complete, I assume then what happens to that partnership?
Yes, in order to do a global grant, you have to do a sustainability study to make sure that whatever we do is sustainable in the future. We train the local Rotarians and the people that we're helping how to continue to maintain, say if it's a well, to continue to maintain the well and make sure it stays in good working order.
Wonderful. So all that's part of that grant that one might apply for. Okay. How do you see deepening your engagement with the many clubs and its members?
So the foundation team is always ready to go out to visit the clubs, to help educate them, to give them training, and to keep imparting the knowledge to be able to help them fulfill any of the dreams they have. One of the other things we get a great joy in doing is being able to go and visit the clubs to recognize them for the contributions that they have made, either as a club or as an individual Rotarian.
It's wonderful.
So I remember when you were the district governor, you used to go to the clubs and you'd bestow the Paul Harris Awards and various things, and you also recognized some of the challenges. So even though you've just recently become the foundation chair, you must anticipate some of the challenges. What do you foresee as some of the?
Yeah, we do have some challenges. Unfortunately, this year we're actually going to be receiving less funding that we have in the past, and that's because 3 years ago we raised less funds that we sent to the foundation. So our challenge is that we have clubs wanting to do projects, and we just hope we have enough funds to be able to help them. But we do suggest that they partner with other clubs and pool their resources. And we also suggest that they partner with outside corporations or other organizations in order to be able to work together in a partnership and succeed in the goals of their event that they want to do.
And partnerships are not new. For example, the Gates Foundation, we've been doing that partnership concept for many, many years.
We do. We have the 2-to-1 match from the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. So one of Rotary's biggest focus, most things we emphasize right now, is the eradication of polio. And we are just so close. We are so close. In just a few short months, we'll be able to declare Africa polio-free.
Wonderful.
It has to be 3 years without polio there, and just a few short months we'll be able to declare that. But we have been raising funds, and the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation has been wonderful For every dollar that we raise, they give us two. So you can't imagine the wonderful things we're able to do with that.
I'm sure he and she will appreciate that.
Yes, yes.
We are very grateful to them.
Chair Ronnie, let me just take you back just a second. You mentioned that 3-year cycle. So our listening audience has an understanding of what that means. When you said 3 years ago we didn't raise as much and this is what the impact is. Because it's important that we are raising those funds so that they are going forward. Would you share with our audience maybe quickly what that process is?
I'd be happy to. So we raise funds and they get sent to the Rotary Foundation and they keep the funds for 3 years.
Because when you say we, are you talking about the clubs
every
district?
Club, every district, every Rotarian provides funding. They send funds. And then whatever the district has sent as a total between the clubs and the members themselves, 1/2 of that comes back to us, and we're able to do wonderful things with it. Half of it actually stays with the Rotary Foundation, and then when we want to do a global grant, meaning our club wants to go into another country, that's the funds that we're able to access to do our global grants.
Gotcha.
So, and then the reason they keep the money for 3 years is that's what they use for their, they use the interest or the income in order to do their administrative costs. And I do have to say that the Rotary Foundation is one of the top charitable organizations rated by Charity Navigator. We are always one of the top charities.
Yes, in terms of your money management and all, and the giving aspect of it all. That's wonderful. What's your leadership style? Because it sounds like you are a terrific leader, having been a club president, and then in the district, and now you're doing this. Tell us, what is your leadership? Can you tell us that in 2 words? What's your leadership style?
Well, not 2 words, but my leadership style is to have good people on my team and let them do their job. As long as you have good people and let them do their job, that's all you need to do. And I'm here to help and advise, and of course, any other help that they need. But I think we need to let people do what they're good at doing, and my team definitely is good at doing what they're doing.
So that leads us into a jumping off point. Let's talk about your board. And I think we've talked earlier, and you said you're very fortunate most people are staying.
Yes. Yes, we have, most of the people that are staying have been doing this for a few years, so they are very experienced and very knowledgeable. We do have 1 or 2 new people, but they have served as assistants, and so they are still very knowledgeable, and I'm very fortunate to have all of them.
Well, they're fortunate to have you.
Absolutely.
We're going to take a short break and be right back and talk more with the Foundation Chair for Rotary District 7610, past District Governor Ronnie Chantker. Please stay with us.
We've been here before, fighting the problems that fight back, because we see opportunities where others see obstacles. We're change makers and problem solvers, uniting over 1 million minds to address complex issues facing communities around the world, including yours. We're working together as partners and professionals, while making friendships that last a lifetime. We're Rotary, and there's no limit to what we can do.
Welcome back to the Rotary Times. We're talking with the Foundation Chair for the Rotary District 7610, past District Governor Ronnie Chantker, and we're discussing her year as the Foundation Chair. Chair Ronnie, when we left, we were talking about your board and how you will engage them to also engage our clubs. More specifically, though, what do you see as the components for a successful board, a board meeting, a board engagement, however you would like to, you define it with your people? Yeah.
Well, I think we have a fantastic team that works together. Everybody's willing to help each other. We do have quarterly meetings, so we get together so we can discuss our progress, what we've been doing, what we need to do, what we need to improve in, and any other elements that they want to bring up, what moves them to need a guidance if they want to partner with another one of the team. We also have, and I didn't mention, we're area foundation advisors.
Oh, that's right.
And so our district is divided up into 12 different areas. Each area has an assistant governor, and they're there to help the governor, but they also have an area foundation advisor. And this is someone they can call on to come and help them either with fundraising activities or learning how to do a grant or working with them just to understand what the foundation is, because we do, fortunately we have new members, and we do need to keep them educated. So we're very grateful to the foundation advisors also.
For that.
And it is complicated. That's why you have the training.
It's very complicated.
In fact, you have to do that every year.
Absolutely. We have a special foundation seminar every
Gotcha.
year so we can continue to educate our Rotarians.
How large is your foundation
How large is the foundation?
in terms of dollar amounts?
Oh, the $1 million challenge.
We are so lucky. This past year, our district governor hit the $1 million
Wonderful.
mark
Yeah.
in raising funds for our foundation. I can't tell you, 3 years from now, the funds that they are going to have to do all the good that they're doing is just fantastic. I'm
Wonderful.
so grateful to our past district governor, Glenn, and our past foundation chair, Juanita Cawley, for what they have done to raise those funds.
Absolutely. So we'll have you back on the show in a year from now, or maybe 2 years, so we can hear all the good that's been going on out there.
And I'd like to
Sounds
second
good.
that about Juanita Cawley, past district governor. I worked for her a couple of years, and she's fantastic.
She is wonderful, absolutely wonderful.
So is there some particular area of passion? There's so much. We talked about the 6 areas of focus.
Right.
Is there some passion that you like?
Well, yes.
Everybody
and,
puts their stamp.
I did mention before about our Strategic Water Alliance partnership with 15 clubs. And one of the big focuses for Rotary is water and sanitation. But along with the wells that they put in restrooms for the schools. And when I found out what this did for our girls, because once the girls hit
Oh, yeah.
puberty, they stop going to school because they don't want to use the bushes. So with this, we're keeping those girls in school.
That's
We
right.
are getting them educated, which again is another area of focus. And besides that, we're enabling them to make a life for themselves. We're giving them the means to be an economic force in their community. So out of the 6 areas of focus, we've just covered 3 of them.
That's right.
And I do have to admit that education and literacy is one of the
Your passion.
focus that's closest to my heart.
Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely wonderful. So what is needed from the district leadership team to ensure that the foundation's priorities, are achieved?
We have to continue to educate our members. As the leaders go around and make their district visits, I want them to keep talking about the foundation and all the wonderful good that we can do with the foundation. So it's just a matter of making sure the leadership continues to talk about the foundation and educate our Rotarians.
Because we've got to tell our own story. What I've noticed, and you may or may not agree, I'd like to hear your opinion on it, that we sometimes don't share the story, all the good, because Rotarians are humble. So
Yes.
we do because it needs to be done, and it's the right thing to do. How do you all get that message out about the foundation?
It's hard. It's hard. We, it's amazing how many times you say something to people about the Rotary and they look at you, and we've been around since 1905. We've been around a long time, but we're very humble people, and we don't often talk about ourselves. So that's one of the main things that we have to do, is we have to show the world that Rotarians are all people of action. We are doing things, and we're making the world a better place.
And when you win recognition like a Navigator, that contributes to the message. And Rotary has been pushing public image now as one of the 3 pillars.
And they need to. They need to keep patting themselves on the back and letting people know what good we do.
Well, speaking of good, that ties into the next question, the impact of the Rotary Foundation. You've already talked about some of it. Can you give us some more details about the philanthropy of Rotary?
Well,
where does some of this go?
So, you know, you can't do anything without contributions from the Rotarians and the Friends of Rotarians. And thankfully, we do have some very dedicated, generous Rotarians who are fortunate in giving to us and enable us to continue with our mission. So, and then again, we do have partners around the world. So it all ties together, and the more funds that we can get, which of course is one of my goals, the more good that we can do.
Do you have a couple of other specific projects that monies go to out from the foundation?
Specific projects? We do have quite a few wells that we've built. One of the big projects that the foundation is doing now are called Peace Fellowships.
Oh, talk about that.
And
That's real interesting.
what we do is we select 100 people to go for either a master's or a certificate in peace. And we select, we have 7 different areas, universities that they can go to. And we try to encourage peace, of course, throughout the world. That's what one of our main goals is. So we select people to get their master's in peace, and then they have to go on to work in some area in peace. And then some of the people that have actually already been working in the peace area will get a certificate in peace.
So these could be young people, people already established in their careers. When you know.
Well, for the master's program, they have to have had 3 years of experience working in the peace arena. And then, of course, for their certificate, a lot of them already have had their master's and are just going a little further with it. Another thing we do are global scholarships. We do provide funding for people to go to university. We also do something called district grants that I haven't spoken about. And these are smaller grants. They're 1-year grants. And they can be local or international. And each club is given the opportunity to do one of these grants every year.
Okay.
And you've even, your predecessor, past District Governor Juanita Cawley, has had new gen peace builder clubs even.
Yes. Our district is what's considered a peace builder district. And that basically is we continue to support financially peace within the Rotary Foundation. And then we started a new program where we go into the high schools.
Okay.
And we take 4 to 5 high schools and select 25 students and educate them about peace. It's a semester-long process. And at the end of it, they all have a project that they have to have done that they will present, and they receive their certificate of completion. It's a wonderful project, and it's amazing what these high school kids can do.
Okay. Wow, you've learned so much here today. But as we close this segment of our program out, I have one final thought for you, or final thought for you to share with our audience. What do you see as your legacy at the end of your tenure?
Okay, my legacy that I want to see is that District 7610 has continued to make a difference in our community, our nation, and the world.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
So funding for this program is made possible by the generosity of Rotary District 7610, Virginia. For the Rotary Times program, I am your host, Rotarian Dr. Deborah Jackson with the Rotary Club of McLean, Virginia, and along with me as co-host is Rotarian Jim Holcombe with the Rotary Club of Bailey's Crossroads, Virginia. You are welcome to join us at any Rotary Club in your area for either breakfast, lunch, or dinner. You can find a club near you by looking us up on the internet. Remember, our time is your time, and it is time well spent. Please join us for our next program as we continue to celebrate Rotary's 110 years of service above self.